Howdy, folks. Welcome back. Episode 184 of This World Blows, the comedy podcast. So first, I'd like to say to everyone who had an issue with my previous episode, everyone who complained about it, I would like to request that you kill yourself, because this is a comedy podcast, okay? So what I just said was funny. Asking you to die. I'm just kidding, of course. No one had complaints about this show because there's not enough viewers. Although the views are up last episode, which I'm assuming is not a good thing. If the views stay steady at this not a good number, and then they pop up and go, that can't be good. Someone has shared this in some type of Reddit to mock me or something. That's all I can assume. But, so be it. So, here's the news, guys. Guess what happened? I'm at my local North Hollywood Ralph's. You know, the vortex where I see the weirdest celebrities and the strangest internet phenomenons. And I see some disturbing looking woman. And I was like, there's something about her, though, that seems familiar. And then I walk out to the parking lot and I see this bright Barbie pink Corvette thing. And I go, there's no way that she's still alive. She is. It's her. It's Angeline. I think that's her name. Angelini. This person, I've talked about her before. Angeline, a Los Angeles icon who became famous for her billboards and pink Corvettes. I've talked about this psychopath before. From the 90s, she used to have billboards where she was just Barbied out, plastic surgery, and in a pink Corvette and only wore pink. This is like one of the original psychos of LA. I thought she was dead. I've spoken of her before because there's people who have copied her moves, who have just been like psychotic plastic surgery ladies in LA that like kind of get famous for doing so much horrors to their own body and stuff. But she's alive. I saw her at Ralph's. I couldn't believe it. I looked her up, and then now what I'm seeing is she is alive technically. But this is, she was wearing this weird little veil thing on her face, and that's why I first noticed her live in person. But now you can see why she's wearing the veil. This person is barely human now. I mean, barely. It is wild. But it really got me thinking, and also this is the person who, this is the same location, the same Ralph's that I've seen My Rice Girl, who is Cheryl Ling, and who is the same type of psycho, the same plastic surgery, been in a couple B movies, and is just like a face in Hollywood that you can spot. And that really got me thinking of like, this is kind of the beginning of how the world is now. And the reason people make fun of LA and say it's shallow and shitty, it's really because of people like this. It's like there's psychos here that have combined their psychosis with sexuality. And then all of a sudden, that makes it kind of not sellable, but at least gawkable. You can just look at that and be like, what the hell is that? Whereas if this person had never been able to sexualize herself, or if she hadn't combined that with the psychosis, she probably wouldn't just get famous. It's this weird cosmic blend of mixing craziness with sexuality. And of course, men will respond to that. Guys like that. Guys like stupid, psychotic women. Guys like girls that look like they have Down syndrome. Guys like Selena Gomez. Look, these people's faces, these morphed, weird faces. The reason guys like it is because subliminally they look stupid to them. And they go, I can control her. Her eyes are spread far apart, so she dumb and I can control her. That's how men see you. And maybe not even consciously, but that is their subconscious, this dumb baby face look of these far eyes spread women. And it's not their fault they were born like that. I'm saying there's a predatory nature to men that in fact, I just saw this on Instagram. There was some, I'm sure she's famous, but some model with Down syndrome who was dancing around in lingerie. And people, of course the comments are blowing up with everyone competing for what's funnier or what's more poignant about how wrong this is. But the only thing I noticed is that this girl looked exactly like Selena Gomez. Like, and I'm not making a joke. I'm saying, for a second I thought there's Selena Gomez dancing in lingerie. And then I clicked on it, I go, what is this? It's a Down syndrome woman doing that. So, I mean, and this is also, I've already thought of this theory, guys. This didn't come from this one incident. I've known this ever since the look of girls with their eyes spread very far apart became the thing people wanted, or too close together. It's both. It's like there's something looks wrong with you, but we started calling that pretty. But really what it is you look dumb and controllable. Now let's go to someone who once did look like this. You guys remember Denise Richards, or if you don't remember, she was an actress who was in some movies because she was sexy looking and face, again, kind of strange, non-humanoid, almost doll looking. What was she in? She was in like Wild Things and like Starship Troopers, of course. But when she's young, let's look at her face when she's young. Yeah, she has the look. It's not full Down syndrome, but it's approaching. It's like she's got 10% Down syndrome. There's just something that looks not the same geometrically speaking as maybe if she weren't to have the syndrome. Now, people thought she was so hot. She was the hottest. And that's why Charlie Sheen was like, I must have her, and he did. And that's disturbing on so many levels. But she said yes to that. This person said, and maybe that's proof that she was mentally disabled. She said yes to this grown pig man with AIDS. I think that might prove my point, guys. But okay, anyways. So recently, I saw this interview with her on Stephen Baldwin's podcast. I don't know why Stephen Baldwin, he's been popping up lately. I saw him at my local weed shop the other day, buying weed, and then I watched this interview of him talking about his full sobriety since the 90s. So that's the kind of guy Stephen Baldwin is. But he's got this little podcast going where he's interviewing other people, and I think he's now trying to like cover for why he was in bad movies, because he's kind of talking shit about them, although not really, but he's kind of just trying to say like, yeah, I had to do these movies were clearly bad. Doesn't work, Stephen. But now, anyways, Denise was on the show, and I was shocked by not necessarily how old she looks. That makes sense to change your age because you're aging, but listen to her fucking voice.
No, go ahead. You were saying your first movie.
No, that came to mind was Tammy and the T-Rex. And like I said, it's no disrespect to the director or the writer or anything.
Of course.
It was just such a crazy experience, and it was my first.
She sounds 78 years old and like she's currently smoking. What did she do to her throat? Oh my God. And now, again, she's becoming, if you look at her face, she better be careful. She's probably going to get tempted to be surgerized, just like Angeline, just like my Rice Girl. She shouldn't do it. She's going down that path, though, of a tweaked up woman with a scratchy voice. Very disturbing. But this is what men want. This is what the men want. Yikes. Speaking of, let's check in on Linda Perry. Is she going insane? What's happening? The hat is still there. Very large. There was some reel I clicked on of hers the other day. It was her in a podcast talking to some woman about the trauma of her mom not understanding why she wanted to kill herself when she was young or something. And I can't believe you could talk about that as a person your age. I can't believe you could still be complaining about your parent. Who, if you are 60 plus, you cannot complain about your parents. If they were horrible, abusive people, you can write a book about it. Absolutely. You can monetize on it. I don't have a problem with that on some level, but I don't want to skip through a reel and see a 65-year-old woman complaining about how her mom couldn't relate to her suicidal tendencies. Why? Write a book, put it out. The people who want to get that info will read the book. Then the rest of us who don't want to watch you with giant accoutrements and pointless facial tattoos, clearly still reaching to try to finding myself and be okay, get off the screen. Maybe that's I hope for a future where it's not that these things shouldn't be represented, but it's like you shouldn't be allowed to be putting yourself out there for people to watch if it's just spreading your personal story of trauma, because that ain't gonna help. You ain't gonna help, Linda. First of all, and I'm not saying everyone you ever figure it out, but like if you're this age and you're still that miserable, that's what I'm talking about. You don't have it figured out, so don't go giving people advice. Get away, go away. If it's okay if you're depressed and anxious and miserable, if you're 65 or 70, but don't try to tell other people, here's what I should have done. No, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. You have mental illness. Go away. I'm telling the people with mental illness to go away. At least for a while. Send a representative. Send a few. It can't be everyone saying we all have this. This is the collective hatred I have of everyone. That we're all just kind of the same. I saw this. Someone posted the other day, and I cannot believe this, but someone posted a "Keep Your Face Mask On" parody comedy song. Something that they made, I'm assuming 4 years ago during the pandemic, and they go, but it's still funny. I want to repost it and just let's see. Or I don't know why you would do that, because one, it wasn't funny to begin with, but it's just seeing that billions of people around the world all have the exact same thoughts, even in comedy, even in like, I could make a joke about this, or this could mean this. It's all the exact same. Like, we're not unique. It's very rare if you find someone who has a unique or like actually intelligent or different thought. All of us think the exact same jokes and things. We're all just one dumb person. It's humiliating. And it is very demotivating to, at least for me, in the comedy sense, because I'm like, I just hate that everyone has become there's this monetization and value in being funny online, this meme world. It's like that. I want it to be a little more unique and not just like every single person I walk past at Ralph's they're making a funny post right now. I don't want to compete with them because they're not funny to begin with. They shouldn't be allowed to try. There should be, again, I'm asking for a Minority Report style world where you have to apply to do anything. You have to apply to make a funny post. I want there to be gatekeepers to say absolutely not. If you're a white person making a parody rap song and because you think it's funny that a white person would rap, like Andy Samberg did maybe 25 years ago. I don't remember when he was on SNL. Whenever they first were doing it's the chronic Coals of Narnia. If you think that doing that now has any cachet, you should not be allowed to post online ever. Maybe, at least in comedy, ever again. You can't. You cannot think rapping is funny. At least that basic level of, what if I rapped and I'm white? Like, come on, guys. You can't. And I see it all the time. Especially from improv, comedy world and stuff. I see like people putting up their funny rap video. No, da-do-bo-bo. I want to eat Chipotle all day. Like, concepts that are not funny on any fucking level. And there's 3 of you that got together to record and film this and go out and get these video clips of this. It's disgusting. There should be an application process. I want, in this new administration, at least let there be a comedy czar that is the gatekeeper. You have to apply to even try. I don't want to see anything getting through the gate. Kind of remember thinking of this though too. The other day I was thinking of the idea of like what you see online and how much everything outrages everyone nowadays, including me, of course. But I thought of like how different it is now than as a young person, because as a young person, before YouTube, before all these things, in order to see something, you had to go to a Blockbuster and rent it. You had to go, if you wanted to see a thing, you had to go choose to see it. And there's no way you're gonna go spend money to choose to see something that pissed you off. That no one, you know what I mean? Like, no one's going to rent stuff. No one's paying money to get mad. But nowadays, because it's free, you'll watch hate stuff all day. You'll get enraged by stuff all day. But you would never have paid to see that. It's just a strange thing where it's like, if only they had kept it monetized in the original format, it wouldn't be like this. It wouldn't be hate laundering constantly of people trying to monetize both sides on outrage and hate. It wouldn't be like that because no one's trying to spend their money on something they don't want. So I say we go back to the format. You got to rent everything. Everyone's posts. We're going to put it on a video. We're bringing Blockbuster back times a billion. The Blockbuster store is going to take up most of your state because it's going to hold a physical tape of every single person's posts. And you can go rent them if you want. You want to go look at David's posts? David whatever? You want to go see the person in high school you used to hate? You want to make fun of him? Okay. Well, you're going to have to rent it. And it's costing money. This is actually a great idea. We bring it back to the physical realm. We take everyone's online thumbprints of every type. We put them on tape. You got to rent it. And I'll tell you this much. People who don't like Trump aren't going to be renting Trump. People who don't like Biden or the left aren't going to be renting. You know what I mean? This solves the problem. Go back to rentals. No more free stuff. Excuse me. I'm getting, what am I getting? I was going to say I'm getting inspired, but that doesn't really make sense if you're like about to burp and you go, I'm getting inspired. I was about to burp, okay? Where are we at? What time is it? Okay. Got to get through this. Okay, I saw this billboard the other day in person. This Jeremy Piven, I thought it was a play, I guess it's a movie. This Jeremy Piven billboard. And it looked humiliating, whatever it was, like his face, everything about it, the pose they're having him dance in. And then I saw, if you look, that it's a film by Shira Piven, his wife. And then it all made sense. I go, oh my God, he cheated on his wife. So he has to do this humiliating performance, and she's the director. She's making him do all this stuff. I mean, look at his face. Imagine being a grown-up, putting on these glasses, putting on that hat, and you're doing this. And obviously this seems to be a period piece regarding a bad period. But look at the dance he's holding. Look at this. Clearly, this man has cheated on his wife, and this is what he must do to keep it under wraps. You know, like this is the payback. This is what Hollywood does. Like if you see people in bad, humiliating movies, a lot of times that's them getting paid back, if you know what I mean. But not going to see this, of course, but it just looked so funny to see and go like, oof. It's not a good look, guys. If you're in a movie and then goes directed by or created by your wife, what did you do? No, my wife's always been a great, incredible movie writer. Just never until now. But she's now started to be that. So respect her and don't look into this. Okay, let's open the gates of hell. Let's start it up. Okay, saw this one. Now this I love. Here we go. Already, I mean, even without her doing faces, something seems terrifying about this person's face. Looks like they have white colored eyes. But of course, disgusting facial dancing. Some of the most grotesque faces I've ever seen, actually. Now, but if you'll pay attention, if you'll look right over there, you'll see a man's elbow, which means she's doing this in the car sitting next to maybe her husband or I don't know, but I mean, I'm hoping it's her husband. I'm hoping some guy married this girl and then did not know in a few years this is what she'd become, and now he obviously cheats on her. This is, I mean, doing this ever is insane. Doing this next to, when there's a person right next to you going, sweet, I mean, maybe she's trying to get out of the relationship. I don't know. It's crazy. But this is what last time I dubbed as child face dancing pornography. And some, you know, if you don't agree with me, then just watch this. Tell me this is not supposed to be sexual. That's a girl imitating riding a cock and fucking. But this is a video for kids. This is child It's not child. It's child face. It's face pornography for children. I'm trying to figure out the way to word this. Face pornography for kids. That sounds better. FPFK. FPFK. This is FPFK. Okay. Disgusting. And these people all know what they're doing too. Like they're getting away with this softcore Disney pornography, and it's disgusting. They know what they're doing though. They know little kids are getting aroused watching this, which is, I mean, again, this is kind of, it's not worse than Predators, I suppose, but this is equal to, if you're intentionally getting kids aroused, I think you should go to jail. There's, in the future, oh my God, I mean, I want to strangle this person, and I mean that on this comedy podcast. I mean, what they're doing is pure evil. This is also like, this is the kind of shit, this is why Christians exist, is because people like this exist. Like, someone has to fight back against this. And like modern liberal progressive people go like, well, just don't watch it. And I understand that attitude, but at the same time you go, but then you're standing by and letting evil happen. So how, like, who are you on this planet if you do nothing in the face of evil, in the face of these women face dancing for children? Let's watch this one again. Anyone who's saying this is not sexual, let's watch this and let's listen to these very cool, important lyrics.
Stop saying ha ha, big kazunga zongs, honky ponky, clown pussy, clown pussy, clown pussy, honk honk. I'm coming. Stop saying.
Did you guys catch all those lyrics about honky honk on bazungas and clown pussy and I'm coming? This is a video for kids, but they're saying in this kid language that parents, I guess they think they won't understand. I don't know. This is literally talking about pornography or about fucking and coming. So I don't know how it's going to hold up in court where you go, no, it's just a video for kids to laugh at. It's silly. I'm doing silly face. Neener, neener. And yes, I was talking about clown pussy, and yes, I was talking about coming. But it's for kids. These are good people out here. Kill them all. Execute all these people. In the new world that I'm creating, the Minority Report world that I'm creating, where I am the king, these people will be dragged in front of me and they'll be executed in front of everyone. And everyone will laugh. And that will be a happy society. Okay, we're 25 minutes in. We don't have time to get into the musical element here, guys. We just don't. That's it for this episode. That was episode 184 of This World Blows, the comedy podcast. Remember, show this to people who will love it, and not to anyone who knows me. Till next time, bye-bye.